Okay, let's talk about it. Gold and silver are on an absolute tear, hitting prices we haven't seen in, well, ever for gold. Everyone is asking the same exact question, and today we are going to give you a real data-driven answer that could save or make you a lot of money. So let's just get right to the heart of it. With these prices just exploding, is this the moment to jump in, or is it literally the worst possible time? Are you catching the wave, or are you about to get crushed by it? All right, let's look at the hard numbers, because they are staggering. Gold just smashed through a record-breaking $4,200 an ounce. That is an insane 55% jump just this year. But get this, silver's story is even more wild. It surged a massive 76% in 2025, finally crossing that $50 mark. It's been 45 years since it got close to that. This is historic stuff, people. So to figure out what's really going on here, we have to cut through all the noise, all the emotion, the FOMO. We're going to use this really powerful tool called the hype cycle to give you the honest answer. It's all about data, not drama. So what the heck is this hype cycle? Let's decode this thing real quick because it is the absolute key to understanding where gold and silver are right now. The easiest way to think about the hype cycle is like a map. It shows the journey that pretty much every new technology or hot investment takes, from that initial buzz all the way to becoming a normal, stable part of the landscape. And that journey, it's always got 5 key stages. It kicks off with an innovation trigger. Then it skyrockets to the peak of inflated expectations. That's when your grandma's asking you about it. After that, it usually crashes down into the Trough of Disillusionment before it starts that slow, steady climb up the slope of Enlightenment and finally levels out on the Plateau of Productivity. So, here's the billion-dollar question. Where are gold and silver on this map right now? Because answering that tells us if we're showing up early or if we're dangerously late to the party. Well, based on all the data, here's the verdict. Gold looks like it's sitting right at the top of that peak of inflated expectations. And that, my friends, is the danger zone. Silver, on the other hand, seems to be on the slope of enlightenment. That suggests its climb is more sustainable and driven by real fundamentals. And you know what? The performance numbers really back this up. I mean, yeah, both have done incredibly well, but silver has actually blown past gold by a pretty wide margin this year. That tells you that its rally is probably being fueled by something different. And here is the big, flashing red light for gold. A record-shattering $17 billion poured into gold ETFs, those are exchange-traded funds, just last month. When everybody, and I mean everybody, is rushing to buy, it's a classic warning sign that the pros might be quietly slipping out the back door. Now, let's flip over to silver because it's a totally different picture. Silver's demand isn't just hype. It is structural. It's a critical component in things we're building for the future, like electric vehicles and solar panels. And on top of that, we've had a supply deficit for 5 years straight. The demand is real and the supply is tight. But wait, it's not just a simple story of supply and demand. There is this huge wild card, this massive external force that's just pouring gasoline on the fire for both of these metals. Right now, we're in a perfect storm of global chaos. You've got tariffs, sanctions, tensions in the Middle East, worries about a government shutdown, the trade war, inflation fears. I mean, you name it. Investors everywhere are just sprinting towards anything they see as a safe haven. And this is a really crucial point. It is not just individual investors freaking out. Central banks bought record amounts of gold in 2025. And in a move that nobody saw coming, Russia announced it was specifically targeting silver for the first time ever. This is big money, institutional money, making strategic moves. Okay, wow. We've looked at the hype cycle, we've looked at the fundamentals, the geopolitical chaos. So after all that, what is the honest, no-nonsense answer for you and your money? All right, let's break this down into some simple, actionable takeaways. This is going to depend on where you're standing right now. Okay, first up, if you own absolutely zero precious metals, you might think about putting maybe 5 to 10% of your portfolio into them, kind of like insurance against all that chaos. Number 2, if you're already sitting on some gold you bought way cheaper, maybe think about taking some profits off the table. Chasing these highs is risky. Third, If you're a big believer in the green energy revolution, then slowly buying silver over time, that's dollar cost averaging, makes a ton of fundamental sense. And last but not least, the golden rule. Never ever go all in at record highs. And that brings us to this classic piece of Wall Street wisdom. When something becomes so popular that literally everyone is talking about it, it is often a giant sign that the market is overheated. The smart money, they probably made their move a long time ago. So be really, really careful when you hear everyone saying something is a sure thing.
So look, the hype cycle suggests gold might be peaking while silver has some stronger legs to stand on. But at the end of the day, your decision has to fit your portfolio and your stomach for risk. Honestly, the best time to buy was years ago. The second best time is often during a dip, not at a record high. So what's your take? What are you doing? Let us know your strategy in the comments, and hey, don't forget to subscribe for more honest breakdowns like this.